I love the Fuji Instax square format because it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like, you get the small, compact, fun cameras of the Instax mini line, but also you get just a bit larger of an image that you can actually kind of see what's going on inside of it. The two Instax square cameras that Fuji currently sells are the Instax Mini SQ40 and the SQ1, and they're both great cameras, very simplistic, and I'm covering them both in the same how-to video because, well, they're both the exact same camera. Like, literally the only differences are purely cosmetic. The SQ40 has like a rubber coating on the outside, and the SQ1 is just plastic. Everything that we do here, I'm going to use either one interchangeably. All the controls, everything is just in the exact same spot. So if I'm showing you one, you can be sure that it works on the other as well. So to get started, you're going to need to add batteries to the camera. Both the SQ1 and SQ40 use CR2 batteries, and I use two of them. CR2 batteries are kind of like this tiny little, almost as wide as a AA battery, but half the height, and they're these little lithium things. Two of them come in the box with the camera, but I recommend buying a few extra because CR2 batteries are just those kind of things that you don't have just sitting around normally, so it's good to have some on hand. These batteries last a long time. Technically, according to Fuji's specifications, it lasts for 30 packs of film, which is like 300 images. So they're supposed to last a while, but if you're going on a vacation or you're about to use it for an important event, just, put some fresh batteries in it and you won't have to worry about it. The battery compartment is here on the side. The doors on both of them are kind of flimsy, so when you take it off, make sure you don't lose the door. I think the SQ40 has even more of a fragile door, so yeah, just be really careful not to accidentally lose this thing. So the next thing you're going to need for your camera is film. Both cameras are Fuji Instax square cameras, which means they need Fuji Instax square film. Fuji Instax Mini and Fuji Instax Wide will not work. Also, Polaroid will not work. You have to get Fuji Instax Square. And Square comes in both color and monochrome variants. I love the monochrome variant. I think it looks great. It also has some different frame colors and stuff. But yeah, you just want to make sure you get some fresh film, and you can order this pretty much anywhere. And the reason why other formats won't work is just literally the frame sizes are different. So this is an Instax Square, which is what the SQ1 and SQ40 use. And then this is the Instax Mini. You can see that it's just a little bit bigger than Instax Mini. It's just cut in a different spot in the factory. And then Polaroid is just, well, a lot bigger. Now that you got your batteries put in, you need to put the film into the camera. So the film goes into the back of the camera. There's this little latch right here at the top, and there's this little window right next to the latch. Now the window lets you know if there's already film in the camera. So if you see a little yellow dot here, that means there's already a pack of film inside the camera. And you can usually look down at the counter and see like how many images are left. If it says 0 or S, that probably means that there's no film in there. So open it up, you just put your finger in this latch and it'll pop right open. Pull the old cartridge out if there is an old cartridge in there. You're going to put the new cartridge in with the side with the yellow spot on it facing up towards you, and you're going to align that with the little yellowed spot on the back of the camera as well. When it goes in, it's going to fit just flush right there. Once you've lined up the yellow dot with the yellow spot on the film and it fits in there nice and snug, you're going to close the back door until it snaps shut. Now, nothing is going to happen at this point, but what you're going to want to do is turn the camera to on. You're going to, by removing this barrel here, and then you're going to take a single picture, and that will eject the dark slide. So the dark slide is a little piece of paper on the top of the film stack that just protects it from light while you're putting it into the camera. Once that dark slide's out, you can toss it away, and then you're ready to go and start taking pictures. So now you're fully loaded and ready to go to take a picture. It's super easy with this camera because there's only a few modes that you can actually go in. Basically, the first is from off to on, and to turn the camera on, you're going to slide this ring around the lens from the off position to the on position. And you'll know the camera is on by this little orange light at the top here. When it's flashing, it means that it's just getting ready for the actual flash of the camera to charge up. When it's solid, that means the camera is ready to take a picture. And then also, if you have the lens out like this and you just leave it like that for a while, the light will eventually turn off, letting you know that the camera is in kind of a standby mode. So to take a picture, you're going to look through the viewfinder here at the top, and then you're going to press the shutter, which is this button right next to the lens. So once you line up your shot, press it down. You'll see the flash, and the picture will emerge from the top. And make sure you let the whole image pop out before you pull it out. You don't want to yank it out too soon or anything like that. Now that you got the image, you don't need to do anything with it. You just set it down. You don't need to shake it like a Polaroid picture or anything. You just let it go. it'll develop on its own. When you're done, you just slide the lens back from the on to the off position, and it just collapses the lens and keeps this nice and compact for storage. Now, the main lens of this camera doesn't really focus that close, which is why there's also a selfie mode. To get into selfie mode, we go from off to on, and then one more setting over to selfie. Now, this is intended for, as the mode says, selfies, but it's really just for any close-up shots. Like, I have a little dog, and if I need to take pictures of her, I'm going to use the selfie lens because I need to get close. So on other cameras, you may see close-up mode or something like that. It all means the same thing. Now, to use the camera for selfies, you're going to hold the camera out as far as you can get it, and really, it needs to be as far as you can reach because it doesn't do well when you're really close. So if you try to take a selfie here, it's not going to get it. You're going to want to use the little mirror on the right by the lens to frame up your shot, and you press down the shutter, and you're good to go. You just took a picture. Now, like I said, if you need to take a picture of something close, like, like a flower or a small animal, you're going to also want to use the selfie mode for that, and you're just going to look through the viewfinder in that case and frame up your shot. Now, just something to be aware of, you're looking through a little viewfinder that's next to the lens and not through the lens itself. So the closer an object gets to the camera, the more there's going to be like a little bit of off in the framing. You're not going to get really precise framing. So just be aware of that, especially when you're doing close-ups, that you want to give yourself a little wiggle room around your subject. And honestly, you're going to always want to be a little farther back than you think you need to be. This is like the most unflattering selfie I think I've ever taken. Both of these cameras do a really good job of getting exposure pretty well, and there's no way to turn the flash off, but you're gonna want it in most cases. These cameras need all the light they can get. Indoors, also, the flash doesn't reach that far, so it's not unusual for the background behind your subject to just be completely black or dark. Now, if your pictures are blurry, most likely you're too close to your subject and you're not in selfie mode, or you're in selfie mode and you're still too close to your subject. These cameras, because the image is small, you're going to have a temptation to get really close to your subject to get, have it fill up the frame. But really, take a step back and you'll probably get sharper results. Just something to try out if you notice that happening on a regular basis. A main thing I see break on these cameras is the battery door. So just keep an eye on that when you're switching. And, if the camera gets jostled around, that's probably the first thing that you're going to lose. But luckily, the batteries are in there tight enough that even if you lose the battery door, it'll be fine. Just put a piece of tape or something over them just to make sure that they stay in there. Well, that's it. Now you're an expert in the SQ1 and the SQ40. Like I said, they're both great cameras. If you're craving something with a bit more control, the SQ6 can still be found out there used, and it has a lot more like toggles and switches. You can actually do exposure compensation. And if you really like analog film and you want to explore it more, Polaroid's a really great option if you want a bigger frame, and I think it's better for some artistic purposes. The SQ1 really shines as a premium party camera. Like if you have a wedding or event, SQ1 is just an awesome camera to have out there, and anybody can pick it up and use it and get some great results. So yeah, get out there and happy shooting.